This was like 1999, 2000. And I came from a Protestant family, so I knew nothing about Catholicism. And even looking back, it's kind of funny because I grew up in Southern California. There were Catholics everywhere, but I never really remember running into any or ever meeting anybody or talking to anybody that was Catholic. So it was really just my wife was the first one that was Catholic, and I'd go over to her house, and I was really fascinated by, as good Catholics that they are, they had Catholic imagery everywhere in their house. So it's just like a really fascinating world to me that I knew nothing about. And I had fallen away from my Protestantism and was considered myself an atheist by this point. I think it was her parents were like watching EWTN, and I started just picking things up about Catholicism. And it seemed like they were always like it was just always playing kind of in the background. And so I'd catch things here or there, and I thought that was interesting. But then at some point, I caught Mother Angelica, and there was something about her that, like, just her simple faith, being older, like it all reminded me of my grandparents, and there was like something really warm and just like comforting about it. But of course, she's a nun, so I knew nothing about nuns, and I just thought that was fascinating. And I wish I could step back into myself at that period in time, just be like what did that feel like discovering this nun on TV that just felt like I knew her already. And she became very accessible for me and just bringing me back to the faith in like a really heartwarming, simple, like convicted way. That's the thing that I loved about her, was that like she was feisty, right? So like she would say hard truths, but she would say it in a way that you just like accept it. It fascinated me, and I got this job where I was coming home at like 1 a.m. and I would come home and have dinner at 1 a.m. and I would go and eat my dinner and turn on the TV, and I would always turn on EWTN. And at that time, Mother Angelica was on, so it became like a ritual. Like I'd come home, have dinner, watch Mother Angelica, and I was just amazed. Like I didn't quite understand everything, but she was always great about like explaining the faith and like encouraging people, and just very edifying to watch. Years later, I read her. I didn't even know anything about her. Years later, after I've eventually converted, and I read her book by Raymond Arroyo, and it was just that's one of the best books I've ever read, honestly. And I'd tell everybody about it.